I'm debating on going to the mall after this, but I have no one to go with. So it's like, y'all, I was laying in bed and I was just like, dang, dude, like, I gotta film. Like, I'm always doing that. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just like today I happen to be filming. But then once I start getting in the process of like doing it, I'm all over it. I tried to make him do the scientist dance because I've been listening to Twice so much, but like his elbows wouldn't bend up, so now he just looks like he's prancing. Anyways, if you haven't already listened to Say Something by Twice, thank me later. You're welcome. Hi. Hello. Welcome back to my witch obsession. Wow, an intro. But anyways, so as you can see, I got a new Oracle deck and I just had to do a love reading. Okay, I had to do it to y'all. But I checked the last time I checked the poll that I posted, it was a lot of love predictions. Like a lot of people voted for that. So we're here. What's coming up next in love for you. But in the event that you wanted to watch other love reading topics, I'll do them in the future. But if you're like impatient like me, I'll link some other channels in the description box of like love readings that I like to watch because they're very good. But anyways, so yeah, this is the Secret Art of Love Oracle. I'll put all the decks that I use in the description, but this one literally like just came out like not even like a week ago. It's by Secret Tarot and a bunch of artists. Secret Tarot's a YouTube channel and she's so amazing. She was like one of the first channels I got into it when I was like getting really into tarot, so highly recommend her. I'll link her channel in the description box below. They're a lot bigger channels, obviously way bigger than me, but yeah, I still love them and they deserve to be recognized because they like started my journey. They inspired me. But yeah, so today for pile 1 we have this rose quartz bracelet. For pile 2 we have this tiger's eye bracelet, and for pile 3 we have the amethyst bracelet. So go ahead and go pick your pile and go watch it, have fun, lol. But like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for the support, by the way. Oh my gosh, so much traction and so much attention in such a short amount of time. You guys are literally amazing. All the comments have been so sweet. The What Makes You Attractive video has been going crazy still. It doubled in views. I'm shocked. I was looking at my analytics like a crazy person, and it was like, girl, where'd this all come from? What did you do? I was like, girl, I don't know. I was just chilling like you. But anyways, if you have picked your pile, go have fun. But I'm gonna ramble. Yeah, I love rambling. Okay. Update on the registration stickers. I still have not gotten them. I literally, okay, so I emailed the DMV last night. They haven't responded yet. I'm pretty sure they're ghosting me at this point. I tried to see if I could buy replacement stickers. Wouldn't let me do that. So the California DMV just robbed me of like money. So thank you. I love that. Today's been a lot better. Yesterday was a lot better. I'd say today I decided to get out of bed early because I knew I had to film today and I knew I had to eat before I film. Like, I'm not a big breakfast person. I don't know about y'all. And it's not like I'm skipping a meal on purpose. Like, oh, like I'm just not going to eat even though I'm hungry. No, like when I get up, I'm usually not hungry. But before I do a reading, I know I have to eat. Otherwise, the reading will be so hard to like read. But yeah, just Taurus moon things. Once I get the ball rolling, the ball's going to keep rolling until I burn out or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm also on the hunt for some earrings. And yeah, I think that's really it. That's all I have to say. That's the tea. So yeah, let's get into the readings. Let's go. Slay. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this rose quartz bracelet, this is going to be a reading for what's coming up for you in love. So for your cards, you see I hid one. I hid it under the bigger card. But anyways, we have soulmate. My heart is yours for eternity. and then we have memories. So as I was pulling these cards for you, one thing that immediately kind of stuck out to me is the fact that it's the rose quartz bracelet. And I feel like there's two main meanings for rose quartz, and that is, self-love and also attracting love. But I feel like for me, how I interpret it is the concept is the more you love yourself, the more love you attract, And in doing so, I felt like when I pulled these cards, every time I see readings like this where you get a soulmate card, I feel like it's too easy to look at the card and be like, you're gonna find your soulmate, like that's what's coming up. But I feel like there's a lot more nuances than just saying that. Like, obviously, it could be that simple. I feel like with this memories card, what's coming up next in your love life, whatever the case may be, I really do think it's gonna be with someone you spend a lot of time with or someone you have history with. Not necessarily an ex, but if that's what resonates, obviously that could be it. But I do strongly feel like it's like a friend or someone that you kind of knew in the past, like an old friend or something of the sorts. And I feel like it's this sense of cultivating a soulmate and kind of like conjuring it in a way. I don't know how to say it. It's like it's not like you found it and got lucky, but rather you found one and you saw the potential and you kind of like watered that until it became your soulmate. You know what I mean? It was about the effort you put in and how much, watering you do as opposed to how hard you look. And first of all, I just got some Pisces energy here. You very well could have Pisces in your chart, but I do think that these two cards alone could go a million different directions, but I do feel like it's, whatever the case may be, it's going to be someone that you have history with, whether that be good or bad. That's just how it is. But I do sense this more of a positive energy. So like someone you've been talking to for a while, or like maybe you like really like your best friend or something of the sorts. Let's get right into the tarot before things start getting confusing or things get out of hand. I think some context would really help. I feel like in love readings, you really have to kind of cut to the chase because I think that it's too easy to kind of like chalk things up. But love is not black and white. Our feelings are not black and white. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. My bestie gave it to me for Christmas last year. And it was really funny because she had put it on her wish list, and my email for some reason gets notifications about her wish list. And she was like, don't check your email. And I was all at work, and I said, I already seen it. And she's like, oh my god. And when I got it, I was like pretending to be all surprised. It was so funny. Anyways, what's coming up next in Pile 1's love life? I'm going to do the same reading style that I've been doing. I've been really digging it. I hope you've been digging it too. Alright, first card. If it will, jeez. Okay, we have Justice. Yeah, some Libra energy. Okay, with the Justice card, that definitely adds to the history aspect. I feel like whatever's coming up in your love life, I do think that it's sort of like karma has been done. Maybe this is... I feel like you know who I'm talking about, Pile 1. I feel like it's a very specific person, and they could be like a Capricorn and Aries. That's kind of what just came through out of nowhere, but that's neither here or there. But I feel like, yeah, this is starting to make sense. With this Justice card, it almost seems as if though external situations had a play in this particular relationship. And what I mean by that is it seems as if though with the Soulmate and Memories card and then the Justice card coming out, it seems as if though justice has been done with your soulmate. Someone that you really care about and someone you spent a lot of time with. You very well could be like childhood lovers, or like y'all have known each other since childhood, or like just a very long time. I'm here like middle school. But I feel like with the Justice card, perhaps there were situations that kind of complicated it and kind of made it black and white, if you know what I mean. I feel like whoever this person is. Oh, also the fact that I mentioned Pisces earlier, they could be a Pisces. Every sign that I say, like if I say, oh, you're a blank, or like I send from you, like that could also be your person. So just keep that in mind. But I feel like this Justice card explains a lot in the sense that, you know, it's the card of law and balance. And so when I think that, I'm thinking of like, you know, justice has been served, karma has been done, everything regarding this relationship, good and bad, has been balanced, and now it's back to the drawing board. I feel like whoever this person is, pile one, I do think that they're from your past, and I do think that it's someone that you really cared about. You know, if you're drawn to the rose quartz bracelet, definitely someone that you really may have very well loved very much. And I feel like there's no easy way for me to kind of lay this reading down lightly, because the soulmate card, like, it's just unrealistic to say that it's not a card of a lot of meaning, you know. It's a lot heavier, and heavier in the sense that it has more weight to it, you know, with more memories, more background, more history, not as in like, oh, this is so sad, heavier. So I feel like throughout this reading, it's going to be very difficult for me to kind of explain it in a way that's more lighter and more generalized, because I think that it is very specific. I think that this soulmate that you're dealing with here, pile one, is, you know who I'm talking about, and it is someone that you spent a lot of time with. But I feel like with the Justice card, because of different situations and different feelings, perhaps you weren't like ready, pile one, or they weren't ready, and because of that, the situation was kind of mutual, you know, as in like, oh, we're not ready, you know, we can't do this, you know, I'm not ready, I'm too young, you know, like Play Easy on Me by Adele, you know. It's just like, I do think that a lot of mistakes were made here. And when I say mistakes, as in like young and dumb mistakes, you know, it's like the mistakes everyone makes, you know. It's not like, oh, like you messed up big time. I feel like this situation, like I said, has a lot of nuances, and I think that there are a lot of circumstances that could have contributed to the situation kind of being settled. If I were to say, let's pull another card here. Okay. We have the Ace of Potions. Wow, okay. Let me just move these over so that it looks even. Symmetry is all that. But anyways, oh my gosh, pile one. It really does seem as though this person is going to reach out, or you're going to reach out, or they'll kind of come back into your consciousness, or maybe they very already have. I feel like whenever readings say, or I'm going to say they're coming back, or it seems as if though they're coming back, but it won't necessarily, it doesn't have to be them literally coming back, you know. It's not like they're literally going to hit you up right now, call you, but more as in they're going to come back into your immediate consciousness. And what I mean by that is you're going to start thinking about them again. They're going to be a topic in your life again. You know, somebody that is back to you're back on the drawing board, you know. They're back on the options list, you know. There's someone that you are thinking about, you know, someone that is like manifesting you, if you know what I mean. Like whenever they start randomly popping into your head when you're just like laying down eating chips like a normal person, and then they like pop up in your head, and then you think you're crazy, but realistically the person's literally manifesting you because they're crazy and not you, lol. But yeah, and this is pretty ironic considering it's before Christmas, and I feel like, you know, this is a timeless reading. But, you know, at the time that I'm actually doing this reading, or just in general, I just feel like with the timing of this reading, okay. So what I'm trying to say here is that the event that's stimulating these thoughts of this person coming back into your consciousness is Christmas. You know, Christmas right now, at the time I'm filming this, is what's kind of influencing these thoughts because, you know, I feel like Christmas is heavily saturated in terms of romance, relationships, and couples. You know, like, all I want for Christmas is you, lol. And obviously, that's what's kind of inspiring this idea of they're coming back into your consciousness. But I think that this could be anything. I feel like, you know, if you're watching this reading in April, maybe their birthday is coming up and you used to always, you know, spend time together on their birthday. Or, you know, maybe 4th of July is coming up and y'all would always spend 4th of July together. It's just the idea that whenever you're watching this reading, I feel like there's a specific event that is heavily tied to your relationship with this person, and because of that, it's kind of bringing back memories that y'all spent together. You know, like obviously there's photo cards right here, so maybe you have some saved pictures of them or like saved like documents, you know, and a lot of like images, or like maybe they're still in your recently deleted. But with this Ace of Potions, I really do feel like, ooh, and there's like a butterfly. I don't know if you see it, but there's like a butterfly coming out of it. So I really do think that this relationship that I'm talking about here, like I said, I'm heavily convinced that it has history and background. And with this butterfly imagery coming out, the Ace of Potions, pardon me, I feel like it's this air of change. I feel like you both have changed a lot. And I think with the Justice card, I feel like maybe you both kind of recognize that being apart was very appropriate, or this kind of idea of looking back was appropriate, because when put into perspective, I feel like you and your person have changed a lot. I know I'm saying you and your person, even though this is a love predictions video, but you kind of get the gist of it. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's a lot of change in this relationship. Like I said, there's been a lot of themes of nuances, change, and memories in this reading. And I'm sensing a lot of heavy energy. And with this rose quartz bracelet, it definitely does seem as though one person or the other was just like in a very dark time. And I think that maybe had an influence on this relationship. And also, I feel like y'all love each other unconditionally. And in the event that this is a new person, pile one, I don't know if this is going to apply to any of you, but I think it's still worth saying. It could deal with past life. I do think that I haven't researched past life enough to confidently say what the tea is on that. But I do feel as though this is someone that's going to feel like you've just known them for a really long time, you know? Obviously, the Ace of Potions, the literal meaning is a new beginning. And obviously, new beginnings could be quite actual new beginnings. It doesn't have to have all these memories and history attached to it. So, like I said, lots of subtle differences and a lot of circumstances that kind of influence how this reading applies to you. So please use your discernment carefully here. But regardless of the case, this person is going to feel like you've known them for a very long time, whether you literally have or haven't. And I feel like that kind of is going to inspire the relationship a lot. You know, I feel like it's very nice whenever you meet someone and it's like very familiar. And when I say that, I almost wonder if this is someone that knows your family, or someone that's going to really get along with your family, or someone that will remind you of your family. You could be a Cancer. They could be a Cancer. That could be an important sign here, since family in Cancer. But it does seem as though this is somebody that is just very sweet. And I feel like with this Ace of Potions, the feelings are going to be very balance, especially with this Justice card. I do think that a lot of the feelings here are going to be mirrored and very mutual. So that's really nice. I love that for you, pile one. And, you know, like, even just looking at this reading like a caveman, we literally got the soulmate card, you know. Whatever the case may be, you're probably going to meet someone that's very sweet and very amazing, you know. Someone who is always going to be there for you. And I feel like maybe y'all have been there for each other, or if you're just meeting someone, you're gonna be there for each other for a very long time. So let's pull another card. Okay, Two of Candles, which is the Two of Wands. By the way, the Ace of Potions is the Ace of Cups. Maybe I should have mentioned that like 10,000 years ago. But with the Two of Candles, it really does seem as though there are some careful decisions to be made here. Whenever I think of the Two of Wands, I think of kind of being at a crossroads. You know, two very appealing passions, you know, like two Ace of Wands, you know, like being stuck between one or the other. And it does seem as though with the Justice card, there is this theme of kind of waiting things out. I almost wonder if, pile one, if you do know this person, or actually, no, this could apply to all of you. I feel like this is going to be a very consistent theme in this reading now. Whatever the case may be, whoever is coming into your life, pile one, because I'm pretty sure that someone is going to enter your consciousness. It doesn't even have to be someone you've met yet. Like I've said, it very well could just be that you start thinking about love again. You know, like you're watching this video, or maybe you're not, you know. Maybe you're listening to your friend watch it. But it does seem as though, whatever the case may be, this person is going to kind of put you at a crossroads. I'm sensing like you want to do this with your life, but your person would require you to make sacrifices in it. You know what I mean? Like, here's a very loose example. Don't take this all crazy personal, but let's say you want to go to school and it requires you to move like 3 hours away, but your person lives in the opposite direction. And maybe you don't like long distance, you know? And it's like both of them have a lot of meaning to you. And, you know, like you worked very hard to get into school, but you really love your person. Or this is someone you really want to spend more time with. You don't want to be far away from, you know? Just this idea of being put between it two, like just a lot of decisions to be made here. You know, very important decisions. And pile one, I do think that it's important that you are not hasty here. With this Justice card, if you do have Libra in your chart, Libras are very susceptible to being impatient, especially if you have like a Libra Mars or a Libra Moon. I have a Libra Mars and I'm so impatient. Like, I'm the type of person that either pulls up 30 minutes early or like 30 minutes late because like, anyways. Pile one, it really does seem as though with this Two of candles, it seems as though you're really going to be motivated to make things work. And so is your person. Like I said, a lot of these feelings are going to be mirrored and mutual, I'm feeling. I feel like this is someone that you're really going to trust or really do trust. And because of that, I feel like it's just going to be the sense of like, okay, we know we're on the same page. How can we make this work? Or how will this work out, you know? And pile one, it does seem as though you are kind of the one that have made a lot of the decisions in the relationship, especially regarding like breaking it off if this is someone you already know. And I say that because you're actually watching this video, and I feel like just a lot of this feeling of making hasty decisions in the past that kind of dismantled the relationship or kind of put a lot of things on hold. And I feel like a lot of impatience and a lot of stress and uncertainty, lots of cliffhangers, left the situation kind of estranged or kind of like remote. I don't know how to describe it. It kind of like put a lot of tension on the situation, you know, put a lot of tension on the relationship. I almost wonder if you were burdened and you didn't want to put your person through that, pile one. That's just a loose thought I got. But I do think that there's change coming. I've been saying this. I said this when I keep looking at this Ace of Potions, and it keeps making me just think of this offering of change. And I feel like this offering isn't even going to come from, like, it doesn't even have to come from your person. I feel like it's going to come from anywhere, you know? Or maybe you've already received this offering, but it's just this sense of like, you're going to get an offering that kind of puts you at a crossroads, I'm seeing. Because I feel like up until now, it seems as if though your life has been kind of like clockwork. I feel like everything that you've done up until this point has kind of just been like business. I don't sense a lot of craziness in this reading. I just feel like it's more about history than it is about like, you know, it's been a battle of attrition, you know, it's been a long war, not a hard war. You know what I mean? Like the hard part about it was the wait and the amount of time it took. I think that, especially if you're an impatient person, it probably drove you crazy. But back to it, I feel like with this Ace of Potions and Two of Candles, like I said, I feel like it's just this sense of like an offering is going to be made and it's going to kind of change things. I'm seeing, like I said, that whole analogy I created about like, oh, like going to school, but then like your person lives far away, you know, I feel like the offering is going to be something from either side of that, you know, like your person wants to, you know, get back with you, but it's like, or like get with you and, you know, you already got accepted into the school, or like this job is going to take you up, but it's going to take up a lot of your time, but your person is someone that's been coming back into your life, you know, just something else that's going to be thrown into your life that you're going to kind of have to juggle or make a very important decision on. And I feel like that's what's kind of the tension of the relationship, especially with this Justice card, pile one. So I really do think that it's important you follow your emotions in this situation, if I'm going to be honest with you. Let's pull another card. 10 of Candles. Wow. Yeah, it definitely seems as if though this has been rough on you. And like I said, I do think that it was a battle of time rather than like wits and strength. And I think that it's been very heavy on you, pile one. You know, this is definitely someone that you're going to or have really cared about, and they really mean the world to you. I'm seeing, and you really mean the world to them too, pile one. You know, I really hate to sound like I'm like kind of like feeding you that, if you know what I mean, kind of being, oh, they really miss you and really care about you. But it really does seem as if though that you've been very unsure of your feelings, and it's just like you should know that how you feel about them is definitely how they feel about you. It's just that the confusion always lies in the communication and the actual execution of the feelings. And I think that's a very cliche way to word it, considering that's how a lot of tarot readings go. But, you know, it's true. And I think it's unrealistic to say that that's not how it is a good portion of the time. And I really do think that right here, it was a lot of right person, horrible timing kind of thing. But I also think that the horrible timing part is kind of just like a cover up, because I feel like the journey that you've had with this person and a lot of the experiences you have or will have with this person are a lot of why you care about this person so much, you know? It's like, sure, it was really bad timing because they may have come into a very turbulent period of your life, but simultaneously they kind of stuck around for that, or like they kind of like, you know, have this loyalty to you, and that obviously means the world to anybody. It means the world to you, to them. You know, it's like, it's this sense of like, once again, going back to what I said in the beginning of the reading, but cultivating and creating the love and, you know, kind of like forging your soulmate, if you will. I think forging has a negative, how do you say it, connotation? I don't know if that's the right word. There's negative energy to it, the word forge, but it's the word I can think of here. You know, it's like you didn't get lucky. You worked with what you had because you saw the potential, you know? It's like you didn't care about what was immediately in front of you. You worked with what you had, both on yourself and what was in front of you. This applies to every situation, honestly. That doesn't even have to be your person. But it's like, y'all grew love. Y'all didn't like find it, you know? And I think that's what makes this a soulmate for you, pile one. And I think that that's the history means a lot to you. Let's pull another card. But it really does seem as though with this 10 of Candles, it's just this sense of it's been a long time coming. And I think that this person coming back into your space, or like already have come back, is really changing things and is really making you feel some type of way, pile one. I really do think that you may have been very emotional about this, or it's something that's been really affecting you, you know, just impacting you. It doesn't have to be negative or positive. I just think that, you know, it's been making you feel some type of way. And then we also have, wow, I usually don't get reversals that often. I don't really read reversals. It's not my really thing, but I still know how to read them. So we have the Ace of Needles in reverse, which is the Ace of Wands in reverse. And I really do feel like this situation has confused you, pile one. I find it interesting that we have two aces here, but one of them's upright and the other's reversed. So it's this sense of like a new beginning feels as though it's starting, but it's very confusing. I think this is so cool. It's a hand holding a needle and it's like there's a thread attached to it. So that makes me think, how can I fabricate this? How can I like incorporate this into my life? What have we fabricated? What are we fabricating? What are we creating? What are we trying to bring together here? When you think sewing, you think bringing fabrics together. You think of fabricating, bringing things together, creating. Y'all could just sew. Have y'all seen that Trixie Mattel video with that one other drag queen? I forgot her name, but she was like, "Do you sew?" I forget. Yes, I do sew. Did you sew that? No. And they were like laughing. But anyways, besides the point, pile one, sorry. I feel like this situation is very confusing. I think that the history makes it confusing because it's like y'all have been through so much together. So it's like maybe they're acting different from how you usually have known them, or it's just a sense of like, wow, like they're really still in my life. What are they doing here? Like, what does this person mean to me? Like, who are you? you know? I think that with the Justice card, it goes back to that theme of, like, being hasty and being kind of impatient, because I think that the situation is trying to grow itself, and I think that a lot of the decisions that are coming with this person are stressing you out, definitely, but don't fret too much about it, pile one. Like I said, I really do think that this is a situation that will naturally pan itself out. I think that the amount of time you invested in this person is not going to go to waste, or the amount of time you will invest into this person. But regardless, time is of essence here, and it's not going to waste, and, it's going somewhere. So I think that with this Ace of Needles in reverse, there has been a lot of confusion leading up until these situations, and situations being this Ace of Potions, like I said, these offerings being made, and these different, like, how do I say, opportunities. And I feel like this confusion is arising from that, as well as maybe you just start thinking about them and you're like, why am I thinking about them? But I do think that it's because they're manifesting you, and maybe that's the only way that they'll truly come back is you thinking about them. Maybe you don't even want them to come back, pile one, but I feel like for a good majority of you, you're still asking yourself, do I want them to come back? And if it's not a permanent answer, it's a matter of do I want them to come back now as opposed to later. I think that once again the time part is very important here. I think that timing has been a big factor in this relationship and will be a big factor in this relationship. So yeah, let's pull one more card before we wrap this up. We have the Hanged Man. Wow, pile one. That card really speaks for itself. It's just about being suspended and not knowing, being very unsure. Indecisiveness is definitely of an essence here. Libra energy, Gemini energy, especially Libra energy. Libra energy is very strong here. And with the history part, that makes me want to mention Capricorn. We also have a lot of fire here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have some Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, sorry. And then the Libra, obviously. And then we have more air right here with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I don't know. Yeah, pile one. I really do think that this is a situation that will naturally work itself out. And I do think that a lot of it will depend on how patient you are. I feel like, it's that whole concept that I've been seeing of when you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see its progress, you just plant it and you wait, and I feel like that's gonna be the hard part. Like I said, time is such a big factor in this relationship, And I feel like the waiting part is the hardest part. You know, maybe this has been a year, like going on for years now, but yeah, pile one, I really do think that you're somebody who has grown their own love, and because of that you are very loyal to it, and it's very special to you because you invested time to it. That's why I wanted to mention Capricorn, because Capricorns, you know, when they invest time into something or somebody, you know, they take that insert profanity very seriously, you know. But yeah, pile one, I really do think that the situation will kind of pan out based on how patient you are, and based on the decisions you make that are more aligned with yourself as opposed to the relationship. Because I feel like making choices in the relationship has kind of dismantled your life before. And obviously, when your life is out of balance, I think that if you have Libra in your chart, or you don't even have to have like major Libra placements in your chart, but just the sense of like Libra energy, you know, like investing in the relationship, I think, has caused your personal life to kind of dismantle. And then it's just like, I think that it's better for you to make choices for your personal life. That way the relationship can kind of compensate for that, because I do think that, you know, you both are willing to make it work, I'm sensing. So don't fret too much about it, if that's my 2 cents on the situation here. But I do think that somebody that really means the world to you, your soulmate possibly, is coming back into your immediate vision, you know, into your bubble, if you will, you know, start thinking about them, or they literally come back. But yeah, that's what I got for you, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You're literally making someone's dreams come true. Like, comment, and subscribe, and especially comment if this reading resonated, because I'm very curious on these, because I feel like love readings can be kind of like complicated. I do think that they're a more dicey topic. But yeah, I love you. Before I start saying thank you so much for watching, I love you like a million times, I'm gonna just cut it off here. Bye. Hello, pile two. If you chose the tiger's eye bracelet, this is gonna be a reading. Oh my gosh, I did pile one's reading obviously because that was the first one. Now we're on the second one. That was so much fun. I'm so like happy. Okay, let's just get into your reading. Let's just get into reading for what's going on in your love life. Look, I hid a card under this card because this card's okay. Okay, I'm in a goofy mood right now. So we have patience. I will wait to hold your hand. I will wait to taste your kiss. And then we have healing. So, okay. I mean, if you really want the summary of the reading, patience, healing. But I was telling this to pile one, but in their reading, there was a lot of theme of nuances. And I feel like that is going to be a theme in all of their readings today, because I do feel as though that for several different reasons, our love lives are not that black and white. It is a ton of gray, and I think that these two cards are no exception here. But I do think that this one's a little bit more of a clean cut. With the healing card and patience card. Me listing out all like the cards as if there's like a bunch laid out, it's literally just these two. But these two cards together, obviously, you know, it does give this theme of a situationship or an opportunity to heal. Pile two, I feel like moving forward, it's gonna be a lot about being patient with yourself. And I think that, you know, personally, I think that I get kind of like frustrated because I'm only human when I watch love readings, and it always like comes back to me. But as much as I hate to say it, because I love y'all, like, I'm not even gonna cap with you. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all, and you know, that's not how we roll around here. Mama ain't raised no liar. But I really do believe that it really does boil down to you and how you treat yourself. I see it in a lot of my friends, you know, how they treat themselves is kind of what they attract, or, you know, the more oblivious you are to the relationships you grew up around, the more unconscious you'll be when it comes to the relationships you attract. And I think that with this healing card here, I think that is going to be a huge theme in how your love life gets influenced in the future. But I do think that regardless of what you do, I feel as though whatever's coming up in love, I do think that it has to deal with you being very patient and being kind of a person that has to wait. I feel like pile two, someone's gonna come into your life, or if someone is coming into your life, if you want that or not, if you don't want them to, like, like the block button's pretty tasty. Especially if you're Virgo. Oh my god, a Virgo's best friend is the block button. Like, y'all go together like steak and fries, coffee and cream, like, you know what I'm saying? I've just never seen anything like it before, but you could be a Virgo, but I really do feel like what's coming up in your love life is going to be a very slow burn, or you could already be in the midst of this slow burn and you're kind of going through a healing process. I'm saying I feel like someone is healing coming up in your love life. Like, immediately what's going on, I feel like, and what's going to continue on is healing. And this healing could be anything, really. I think that it's a bit too easy for me to be like, oh, like, you're healing from a past relationship. But pile two, like, it's not that simple, obviously, and it's not that black and white, as I've said. It could be healing from anything. You could be healing from a past trauma. You could be healing from a friendship. You could be healing from a loss of sorts. Anything. And, I think that is going to be a huge factor in what's to come. And I do think that the next person that comes into your life is going to be very patient with you and someone who understands that you're healing. But I do think that it's important that you kind of wear that on your sleeve and not be like, not in the sense that, like, oh, like, I'm damaged AF, y'all, like, no one hit me up, like, only the real ones know. But more of this sense of, be more honest with yourself and be more honest with others. And energy will compensate for that. You don't have, I've been saying this and I've been realizing this, but there is no perfect time for love and romance and anything of the sorts. There is never a time in your life where you aren't worthy of love. And I feel like this is gonna I'm gonna kind of ramble here, but I feel like, especially in my generation, I'm from Gen Z, there's this misconception that you have to be perfectly fine and not codependent and independent first before you get into a relationship. But I just feel like that's so unrealistic because we're such complicated creatures and we change so much and so much happens. And I feel like the whole point of a relationship is to overcome obstacles together and grow together, improve as people, provide context. And so therefore, pile two, I just think that it's very important that moving on in your love life and what's to come in your love life will kind of play on that theme of there is no perfect moment. There is no perfect timing. Does time even exist? But, I just think that whoever's coming into your life is very patient. Period. I think that's really it. And I do think that it could go a million different directions there, but I really do think that's kind of the summary. So let's get into the tarot. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. I told this to pile one, but I got this deck for Christmas last year from my best friend in like the whole world. And I don't know if she's going to watch this video because she doesn't know about my YouTube channel. And I remember I was at work and for some reason when she adds stuff to her wish list, it notifies my email. And I remember last year when she put this on her like to get list, and it notified my email, and I was at work and she texted me. She was like, did you check your email? And I was like, yes. And she was like, oh my gosh, this deck is not shuffling right. It was shuffling perfectly in pile one, and I had to pretend like, oh, like whenever I got the gift, I had to pretend that I had never seen it before. But it was so sweet. This deck is so special. But anyways, let's get into it. What is coming up in pile 2's love life? I'm going to shuffle it 5 times. What is coming up in pile 2's love life? What is coming up in pile 2's love life? Alright. What's good? What's the tea here? First card, we have 3 of Presents. So, I almost wonder if you're gonna meet this person in kind of a more formal setting, i.e., like school, work, because obviously it's the three. The three of presents is the three of pentacles. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. But I do feel like this is somebody that you're gonna kind of collaborate with and get to know before anything. And pile two, I do feel as though you're a slow burn person, anyways. I almost wonder if this whole healing stage of your life is influenced by the fact that you take just as much time to heal as you take to like actually get into something like a commitment. And obviously the word commitment could go a bunch of different ways here. It doesn't have to be just relationships, but I do think that you're a more far-sighted person and you're someone who kind of takes things slow. So I do think that with this three of presents, you're going to kind of get to know them at a professional level. I almost wonder if you're very interested in how people work or what people do for a living. I feel like maybe you're more into people that are very motivated and people who have ambitions and goals. Perhaps you are a Capricorn. Lots of Capricorn energy. I just love Capricorns. I've been seeing a lot of Capricorns on the channel, like commenting, and I'm like, I love y'all. Y'all are amazing, and people don't appreciate y'all enough. Everyone just be saying that y'all are workaholics, but it's so much more than that. But anyways, I also was thinking about this because I was like, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I could throw out any zodiac sign and anyone could, like, someone's gonna watch the video and be like, OMG, that's my sign. But anyways, loose thought there. But with this three of presents, it really does seem as though this is somebody, like, moving forward in your love life, you are very interested in how you kind of work with them and how the chemistry kind of works. And I think that chemistry is very important to you. I mean, who is that not important to, but I do feel as though I almost wonder if this person is someone you're very close to, someone you work with, someone you kind of like associate with at a more superficial kind of earthly level. And when I say earthly level, I mean like, anything related to the 3D, work, school, social media, maybe they're just a random follower, maybe you met them on a website or something of the sorts, maybe even a dating app, just a sense of y'all know of each other, y'all don't know each other, And the reason I'm saying this is because with this patience card, like, I will wait to hold your hand and, taste your kiss. I almost wonder if this is someone that secretly has a crush on you or secretly likes you, but notices that you're kind of healing and it's just kind of like, like they aren't going to approach you while you're clearly going through something. But it could also be someone that and they're kind of waiting it out. Like I said, lots of nuances here because love is gray, not black and white. But I do think that there's two main ones I'm kind of gonna bounce between it, and that is that this is someone that you don't realize likes you, but they do, or this is someone that you're kind of taking it slow with, or you're gonna be taking it slow with. But obviously this is a predictions video, so I really do think that this is somebody that's coming in or somebody that is already in your circle and will kind of get closer to you. But let's pull another card. We have... what is this? Six of Potions. Sorry, I was like looking at it because I know when the I is behind the V, it's 4. But then I was like, this is not 4. Six of Potions. Yeah, it definitely seems as if though this is somebody that you have history with. And let's get this out of the way. The Six of Potions to me, that can be a soulmate card. So that could be for some of you. Soulmates are a huge topic in pile 1. So I don't know if you would want to watch pile 1 too. But with the Six of Potions, definitely this theme of somebody that you know. Maybe this could be someone that you have known for a very long time but didn't really think of romantically or didn't think you could get involved with them romantically, and now it's just becoming a topic of the sorts. But also, children could be involved here. Maybe one of y'all has kids or they have nephews, something of the sorts. Children are at play here, and I do think that the energy of them is in play rather than the actual children. I don't know about y'all, but kids kind of terrify me. I'll be reading up on my birth chart, and it's like, he loves kids. Kids are drawn to him. I was like, girl, are y'all sure? But anyways, I do think that childlike energy is at play here. Obviously, y'all could be childlike. Not like saying y'all are childish or something, but as in... you guys have known each other, and or like you guys kind of bring a fun, more playful side of each other out, you know. Maybe y'all like, maybe y'all will like roasting each other. I just thought of this time in 8th grade when this girl, we were in writing class, and she looked at this dude and she said his name. She said, "You're childish." And it was just the funniest thing ever. And when I think of that, I just get all giddy and like giggly, and I almost wonder if that's what this situation's gonna be like. I feel like being more lighthearted and, you know, keeping things, you know, more fun and sweet is gonna be a huge theme coming up here in your love life pile too. And that also made me think of this episode. I don't know if y'all know what Detective Conan is or Case Closed. It's like this detective anime, but I thought of this episode where there was this guy who was really into this girl, but that girl had lost her boyfriend in a car accident. And then they just kind of started spending time together and kind of like hanging out and chilling, and that's kind of where it all started. So I almost wonder if that's what's kind of happening pile 2, or if something from that is relevant for that to pop up into my mind, because that is so random. That's like in the deep file cabinets of my mind, you know, buried under all the papers and staplers, I guess. But it really does seem as if though there's this theme of moving on, and there's a person that you are motivated by to move on so that you can like be with them, or somebody that just brings lighthearted energy to you, you know, pile 2. It doesn't even have to be that, oh, you're gonna get into a relationship with this person, you know, because at the end of the day you have free will. If you don't want to be with somebody, you absolutely don't have to. But I'm just saying that, you know, it's this sense of like, if you want this, it can happen, and it's very possible. And I do think that you're going through something right now, or they're going through something right now, but someone in this situation is healing and kind of moving on from things. And that's why right now it's kind of kept at this lighthearted, sweet, professional level. But I do think that there is these underlying feelings here, and these feelings probably show through in very uncomfortable and almost like inconspicuous ways, in the sense that like you'll be around them, you feel the charge, you don't understand what the charge or this like, you know, almost magnetic energy is, you know, you don't understand it, like there's no way to describe it, pile 2. Like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's just like when you're around someone and you can feel something, you know, like you want to hold their hand or something. All right, let's pull another card. We have Knight of Candles. I like this card. This is nice. Knight of Candles. To keep it 100, I do think that the Knight of Candles can be kind of a player, but I feel like this energy is kind of appropriate here, in the sense that pile 2, I really don't feel as if though you're looking for like, or like serious 100%, you know, like commitment isn't a topic in your life right now. Or if it is, it's not something that like you are in an intense pursuit for. I think it's something that is on the table, and it's something that's open to conversation for you, but it's not necessarily what you have your eyes on. And because of that, I think that this Knight of Candles adds this extra layer of fun and lightheartedness. And I feel like that's what's gonna allow the relationship to grow, you know? I feel like allowing it to grow without any set expectations is what's keeping it exciting for you. You could be a Sagittarius. You could have fire in your chart. We have earth, water, and fire here, so all of those signs, and all 9 of those. But it really does seem as if though this person, or you know, one or the other could be the Knight of Candles, or more than one of y'all, you know, if y'all are into polyamory. But I really do feel this energy. It's very masculine, you know. They don't have to be like a girl. They don't have to be a dude or a girl for the matter. It doesn't matter what they identify as, basically. But I really do feel like there's this masculine energy that is very playful and very flirtatious, and kind of comes off as like having a heart of nails, but is actually a total sweetheart, judging by this Patience card. And it really does seem as if though this situation is kind of expanding on its own, pile 2. I feel like it's very hard to describe the predictions in this situation because your expectations don't have a set form right now because you're so focused on healing, or you may very well just be focused on kind of moving along, and kind of keeping things superficial, at a more surface level. But obviously, it doesn't have to be that way. But I do think that, you're not really getting into anything super serious right now. And because of that, the situation could really grow in any way. Because I do think that if that's how it's going to be, the situation and the circumstances could be so different from person to person that's watching this reading. So use your own discernment right there. But I do feel as if, though, this situation is going to grow very unpredictably and change very unpredictably and take turns in ways you didn't expect it to. And when I say didn't expect, I think that there's this misconception that you'll be kind of clueless to it and you won't realize it, and then it just kind of sneaks up on you. You very well could be thinking about how it could happen and stuff like that, but it'll still happen in a way that you weren't necessarily predicting based on the decisions you've made. Like, a lot of the decisions you make from here on out will really dictate the situation because, like I said, your expectations don't have a set form. And because of that, I think that your love life could take on really any shape based on the choices you make for yourself. That made me get Leo energy, honestly. But yeah, pile 2, like I said, I do think that this is a very playful energy. There's a lot of playfulness in this reading, like I said, like all the things I've been mentioning. So let's pull another card. I'm going to pull 3 more cards. That's how many I pulled for pile 1. We also have Death here. Wow, you could be a Scorpio, or you could have Scorpio placements, or they could be a Scorpio, Scorpio. But definitely the sense of change. And I think that this Death card speaks about this Healing card. I feel like that is the context for the Healing card. I don't get the vibe that this Death card is an actual change coming up in your love life, but rather it kind of provides context for what you are coming from. As in, it kind of describes what happened up until this point, what caused you to need to heal, what caused you to want to not have set expectations, what caused that this person needs to have patience, or patience is something that is very important to you, And I think that this Death card is saying just that because, looking at this card, it's a cemetery. There's no action going on here, so that kind of leads me to believe, you're leaving things behind, you're leaving things to rest, you are laying your past self in another person or situation to rest here. You're kind of letting it go, and I think that's what the Death card is about. But I always like to say this in my readings, however much you let go is exactly how much you'll get back, pile 2. Y'all probably already know that, y'all smart, but I like saying it as a little disclaimer. And I do think that with this 6 of Potions and this Healing card, the Healing card, Death card, and 6 of Potions, and 3 of Presents, honestly, but I do think that all of these cards together kind of give me the sense that whatever you may have let go in the past, maybe this is a person that's coming back. I almost wonder if, because this reading kind of changes energy now, because it very well could be that you're moving on from somebody and somebody else is coming in, but it could also be that you broke it off with somebody, but they're still kind of in the air for you, as in you broke up with them, but maybe you unfortunately still live with them, or they still work at the same place as you, they go to the same school, something of the sorts. And because of that, it's just a sense of looking back at the past, and that's what's kind of inspiring this Patience card. Maybe you had to break off with somebody because you had to heal from something else, or you're still in the relationship, and it's just this sense of you're healing from something else. Sorry, I don't know, I just blanked out right there. But I just wanted to be very careful about what I said there next. And I think that I almost wonder if that's going to be a theme in your love life coming up, being very careful of what you say next. But yeah, pile 2, like I said, there's a lot of nuances here, so take it how it resonates. And I'll probably write something in the description box about it because, you know. And it really does seem as if though the situation's kind of unfolding. Let me just pull another card before I start like pulling things out of my butt. Okay, we have the Hierophant. I think that's cool because this is Taurus and then we have Scorpio here, and those are like sister signs, so they could have major Taurus placement. I'm hearing Taurus rising. I feel like Taurus rising significant, but anyways. Yeah, the Hierophant card, I really do feel like this talks about community. I feel like work, school, and those things alike are very important here. Maybe like this person is someone that you are associated with in that sense. They could be, politics could be important here. I don't know. I just felt like mentioning that. But politics, something of the sorts, you know. Something that deals with like opinions. I don't know if you, I'm a Taurus moon and I like to think I'm pretty opinionated deep down. But anyways, I really do feel as though the community aspect is very important here. I think that if anything in this reading I'm going to be 100% sure applies almost across the board is that community, groups of people, and friend groups are heavily involved here and at play, and definitely contribute to this whole Six of Potions idea of like there being a history and a past. You know, maybe y'all completed a project together, or maybe y'all are gonna complete a project together, or going to start a project together. Whoever this person is, I do think that whether or not you've met them, you're gonna do something with them or cultivate something with them that kind of regards to community, kind of regards to like school, work, things of that sort. You know, I keep mentioning it, but I do think that's gonna be something that's very important and significant in this relationship. So yeah, let me pull one more card before I kind of wrap this reading up. We have Queen of Needles. Wow, that's interesting. I love when tarot readers say that's interesting. Like, girl, I'm one of them now. But with the Queen of Needles, I do think that, I think this is you, pile 2. I say that because I feel like you're a very discernful person, and I say that because this whole reading I've kind of felt very careful over my words and very like, let me not say the wrong thing, or let me explain this. And I do think that you're somebody who conversation is very important to you. Pile 2, I feel like whoever's coming into your life or whoever has come into your life, they better watch their mouth. They better make sure they don't say the wrong thing. I think that you're not the one, pile 2. I don't think you're the one in that sense. I don't think that you're the one to be played with. But I do feel as if though, or maybe you're gonna start a new job. I don't know why I just randomly got that, but maybe you're starting a new job, or you're kind of like getting back into the swing of things, and then someone's gonna kind of enter your circle that way. I just wanted to mention that real quick. But back to the Queen of Swords, Queen of Needles. I do think that this person, or your energy as a whole, you're going to be very careful of who you let into your circle, because I feel like, as I said, you are healing from something. And that's going to be very important here, because I think that this is what's going to kind of inspire. It's just this huge dynamic, because this person's so silly and unhinged, and assign these roles as you wish, but I'm sensing this energy that's very silly, unhinged, goofy, outrageous, and then there's another energy that's more reserved, like conservative, not in that way, but you know, like more reserved and more careful and more, you know, critical. And it's just like you bring this balance. There's this huge dynamic between the two of you, of like one person is so hinged and the other person is so like uptight. That's pretty exciting. I love that for you, pile 2. But I think it's funny. I just wanted to mention the Death and Hierophant card again, because I'm a Scorpio Sun, Taurus Moon, and like we have both of those here, so that maybe that's their placements. But yeah, it really does seem as though whatever's coming up in your love life deals with time and deals with communities, projects, those things. Once again, I keep reiterating that because it is so important, pile 2. Like, that is just something that is a huge theme in this reading. And I'm sensing that, like, it's interesting because this wolf's, like, wearing a suit. So I almost wonder if this is going to be a very professional-seeming person, or a very ambitious person, a very goal-oriented person. That's probably very attractive. But I do think that somebody is gonna kind of come into your love life here, but very subtly. I don't think it's gonna be like guns blazing, like, you know, like fists up, kick down the door type of energy, but rather they're gonna kind of enter your circle at a more professional and platonic level, and I think that's where it's gonna start. Or it's somebody that you already know, and the feelings are gonna, just this idea that the feelings are gonna grow over time and start very small here. I do know that's gonna be kind of a huge timeline, or kind of like a storytelling factor in this reading here and what's to come in your love life. Yeah, pile 2, that's what I got for you. Your reading's a little bit shorter than pile 1. Don't tell them. Don't. I'm sorry. That's the message I got for you. It's not like that, okay? But anyways, thank you so much for watching pile 2. Thank you so much for the support, especially if you watched my other videos. Y'all are amazing. Like, comment, and subscribe. Especially comment if this reading resonated for you. I love reading how it resonated with y'all. It's so much fun. You know, I love that for all of us. I think it's just fun, okay? Like, don't hate on me, but yeah, and you guys are literally making someone's dreams come true, so thank you. I love you. Okay, before I start saying thank you so much for watching, I love you like a million more times, I'm just gonna end it off here. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the amethyst bracelet, this is gonna be your reading. Okay, y'all, before we get into it, I'm only telling y'all this because if you ever feel... Okay, so I got these bracelets from a little small business in town here, so that's where I got it, but I'm sure you can find similar ones on like Etsy or something. But anyways, if you ever feel anxious or you're feeling some type of way, wear amethyst. Oh my gosh, I am a little bit skeptical of crystals because I'm very peculiar about finding real ones and, you know, the whole idea. But they really do work. And, like, obviously I don't want to say that in the sense like, oh my god, I don't believe crystals. But, like, in the sense that I was somebody who didn't really avidly get... I basically wasn't that into crystals. I believed in them and all that, but I just didn't get into them. But after wearing amethyst, it really does make a difference. So there's that. So let's get into this reading for what's coming for your love life. Look, I've been telling all the piles, but I hit a card under it. But anyways, for your card, we have drowning. My tears for you will not stop falling. My heart is shattered. I have lost you. And commitment. So 2 very dynamic cards here. Very strong. I almost wonder if you're a Scorpio, pile 3. That's a lot of intense energy there. You could also be a Taurus because that's Scorpio's sister sign. Those 2 signs were present in pile 2 as well. But pile 3, I feel like, you know, like I just read the card. Let me not act like I didn't just say all that. But I do feel as though a theme in your love life up until this point or moving forward is gonna be about moving on from somebody. Moving on has been kind of a huge theme in all the readings today. I've told this to all the piles, but a huge theme I've seen across the board today, and will probably be across the board, is nuances and time. And I'm saying that because I feel like it's not that black and white right now. I feel like with the state of the world and like all the retrogrades and the shadow periods, you know, it's not that black and white. And I do think that there is a lot of nuances. So yeah, I just wanted to provide that context before I get really into it. But with this drowning card, I feel like you're moving on from somebody that you may have committed to, or you're moving on from something and you're looking for a new commitment. But regardless, I do think this could go a bunch of different ways here, so bear with me. One thing that came to mind is someone is still not over you, but you're clearly moving forward and moving on to a new commitment. And the energies could be swapped. It could be vice versa. It could be the other way around. So obviously, if that's the case, you know, that's the case there. Sorry, I was getting comfortable in my chair. But, you know, obviously assign the roles as you wish here, pile 3. You're in control of this reading. But it feels as if though, regardless of who it is, there's one person that's clearly moving on, still hurt, but very much ready to move on, has started the healing process, and is simultaneously investing in a new commitment, in the sense that by moving on, they're inviting something sweeter into their life. And then there's another person that I'm sensing that is very much pining after one person and wanting to commit to them, even though that the situation has been kind of rocky. Like I said, assign the roles as you wish. You know, if it doesn't resonate at all, this is a very intense, like, these are very intense cards. So if you're uncomfortable by any means, you do not have to watch the reading. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but it's like, you know, like, if a message isn't hitting correctly, it's like, you know, you wouldn't read an email that's not meant for you, you know? So just wanted to let you know that, pile 3, because, you know, this is probably going to be the most intense reading out of all the piles, and I don't want you to feel uncomfortable at all, you know? But I just want to make sure that you feel comfortable, okay, pile 3? But I really do feel as if, though, I feel like there was a nasty breakup here, honestly, pile 3. But that could be for some of you, not all of you. But I think that moving forward, it's going to be this huge theme of commitment. You know, like, it's like I said, two very different cards, you know, one about huge loss and the other about commitment. So I almost wonder if a commitment was lost, or there was a loss and now commitment is being invited in. So let's get right into the tarot. Me to provide context. I told this to all the other piles, but this is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. And last year, my best friend in the whole world, oh my gosh, she got me this deck for Christmas. And I remember every time she adds things to her, like, wish list and stuff, it notifies my email for some reason. And I remember when she added this, I knew what she was going to get me. And she was like, I was at work. She was like, did you check your email? Please don't check your email. And I was like, I already checked it. And she's like, gosh. And I remember when I got the deck for Christmas, I had to pretend like I didn't know what it was. And she was like, girl. And I was like, it was so funny. But I love this deck. It's so special. Alright, what's coming up in Part 3's love life? I'm going to shuffle it 5 times here. Oh my gosh. Let's take this card, actually. What's coming up in Part 3's love life? I'm going to shuffle it. Oh my gosh. Well, we had two jumpers. I never get jumpers with this deck. That's crazy. So we pulled 2 cards here. So we have the Page of Needles and the King of Candles. Look how cool this card is. So nice. But here, let me bring them down a little more. Pile 3. Okay. The first message that I got here was with the Page of Needles, because that's the Page of Swords, and then this is the King of Wands. But the Page of Swords, in my opinion, is kind of like a hesitant energy. You know, it's the youngest court card, and it's the suit of air, and that makes me feel like there's a lack of communication in your love life. And I think that moving forward, communication is going to be a huge theme here. I feel like someone's going to reach out to you, pile 3. I feel like someone is going to kind of enter your energy. I was describing this to pile 1, not saying that, like, go watch pile 1 because it's the same thing, but rather, like, I kind of described it in the same way. When I say that they're going to come back, it doesn't even have to be, like, it could literally be they coming back through this reading, you know? It's just this sense of, like, they don't even have to physically come back or, like, text you, call you, you see them in the mall randomly, but rather this sense of they might come back in the form of you thinking about them randomly, you know? Like, why am I suddenly thinking about this person, you know? Like, you're just, like, watching TV, eating popcorn, you're going out, you're going to the DMV because they won't give you registration stickers and you paid your fees, like, 2 weeks ago and they freaking won't hit you up. And then they suddenly just pop into your head and you're like, girl, like, why am I thinking about them? This is over. Like, bye. You know, in that sense, you know, it could be as light as them coming back in your just conscious mind, or even in your dreams. So when you're unconscious, or it could be as, you know, crazy as them literally coming back and hitting you up. But obviously that's it. It just depends on person to person, obviously, you know, like, I just want to explain that. And with the King of Candles, I feel like I don't feel as if though this is the person that is kind of like lost the other person. I feel like the person that was lost is you, pile 3. And I've almost wondered if you're like, do they even care? You know? But I'm here to say that it does seem as if though they care, you know, why else would they be drowning or like crying about it? But it's like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know them, but I really do feel like they care, pile 3. And I feel like this King of Candles speaks of somebody else. This reading I feel like, okay, pile 3. Leading into your love life, what's coming up is going to be a long time coming. I think that your love life, the timeline here is extremely important because I'm sensing that there's some third party energy here. And I feel like this person is going to see you with this King of Candles. And that's going to kind of inspire them to come back into your life. Or kind of like, you know, enter your circle again or your energy. They're going to start manifesting you again. And I think that's what's causing this confusion. I almost wonder if this process has already happened. That's why you're like, girl, what is this? But I almost wonder, like, if that was the third party energy. That makes me get Gemini energy, also some Virgo energy randomly. But it really does seem as if, though, pile 3, I know you know what I'm talking about. Just the sense of, like, I moved on from you. I have met someone new that treats me better, is way hotter, pays for all my sweaters that I get from the discount section at Hollister. Which, by the way, I totally did that. So amazing. Highly recommend. But anyway, sorry. This person treats me so much better, and here you are crying over me when you had your chance with me and you blew it. You know, pile 3, I feel like you're just... I told this to pile 2 as well. I feel like all piles should hear this, but, like, you're just not the one. And in the sense that, like, you're not the one to be messed with, the one to be played with, you know? And I feel like it's just this theme of moving on. And like, I feel like you have moved on. That's why I said the timeline process is so important, because I feel like the moving on has been done. And because of that, this person seems to be coming back, and it's just like, girl, like, I already found someone new. And it's kind of overcomplicating it in the sense that, like, okay, part 3. I do think that you have feelings and love for both of these people. If that is the case, you know, I really do feel like there's third party energy here. I'm almost confident. But I feel like your love for the person that is crying and is drowning, as you will, I feel like that love has been laid to rest. I feel like you've accepted it. It's like grief. You don't get over it, you make room for it, and you move on with your life, you know? My bestie that bought me this deck, she was the one that told me about that whole grief quote. I forgot who it was by, but anyways, I feel like this person is like just someone who you accepted into your past and left there, and they are now feeling this, or they have felt it, but now it kind of hit them especially strong, and now they're just like, come back, you know, like doors open, like, excuse me, like, you know. And I feel like you're just not having it. And I feel like with the Page of Needles, pile 3, not even the hesitancy part, but Page of Needles, in my opinion, is kind of a mischievous and kind of a gossipy card. So I almost wonder if multiple people are involved in your love life right now. And not saying that, like, you know, like, you're a mistress or, like, a Casanova, but in the sense that, like, you know, friends, family, all these people kind of seem to have a say, or they have been getting their opinion in. You know, it doesn't even have to be that there's a third party situation, but I do think that there are multiple people involved, platonic or romantic, and because of that, there is just a lot of smoke and mirrors. Because, like, when I come at this reading, it just feels really confusing and very dynamic. And I think that's how it is, because there's so many external energies surrounding your love life right now. And because of that, it seems to be kind of hard to just get a grip and, like, get that commitment going. But I do think that commitment is a big theme in your life right now. And I do think that moving forward, it's going to be something that you kind of get into, or something that you start thinking about, especially if you are with a King of Candles, or you have a King of Candles kind of like in your circle, or like in your immediate vicinity. But I really do feel as if though this Page of Needles adds a lot of mystery and kind of this extra layer of fog in this reading, and I think that's maybe why you came to this video or clicked on this video. And I feel like this confusion is kind of what's has left this person behind. Let's pull some more cards here. I'm gonna pull another one before I start. Okay, wow, we got the Two of Potions. That's the Two of Cups. Wow. We all know what the Two of Cups is. But yeah, it really does seem as if, okay, if it's not the third party situation, I almost wonder if it's somebody that you're going to really care about, or someone that you've met, or someone you will meet. And I feel like people have something to say about it, or people will start having something to say about what you're dealing with right now. And I feel like that's what's kind of frustrating or kind of irritating you. And when I say irritating, I don't think it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so angry. Nothing in this reading leads me to believe that, like, you're mad. But I do think about the King of Candles, like, it could speak about a literal King of Candles, but it could also speak about your energy and how you are going to radiate this very masculine energy. And I think that because of that, your discernment is going to be kind of heightened moving forward. And what I mean by that is I think that it's going to be this sense of you're either with me or against me, because this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. This is what I'm asking for, and this is what I will get. So if you have a problem with it, cry about it or gossip about it. I literally do not care. And I think that as a result of this critical energy pile 3, I do think that that is what you're going to manifest and kind of bring into your life, or this is what's something that you're going to be in the midst of cultivating. I really do feel like the timing of this reading depends on whatever point of the energy you're in. You could very well already be in the midst of the commitment, or you could be like very much like it. This could be far away, you know. But I do think that the way this pans out, it'll be kind of dicey in the sense that I feel like other people have a lot of things to say, and it's gonna be kind of annoying. But yeah, let's pull another card here. We have Seven of Candles. Once again, just this theme of like defending, you know, like standing up or like competition. Also with the Two of Cups here, or Two of Potions, whatever. Obviously, it is unionship and it's going to be very something sweet. It could be a soulmate, because I consider the Two of Cups a soulmate card. Soulmates have been a huge theme in all of the readings today. It came out at least once in all of the readings, so don't fret about that. But it really does seem as if though this is somebody that's very important to you. I think that whoever is coming into your life is going to be someone that's very sweet and very amazing. But like I said, I was mentioning the Two of Cups, it's still a 2, you know. And when you think of the number 2, I think of like, or at least I think of like a crossroads, you know, 2 different decisions. And I almost wonder if this Seven of Candles is kind of describing that, in the sense that like you feel like you're kind of having to defend yourself from a third party. I feel like that third party energy is coming back in as like a main theme here. And excuse me, oh my gosh, I feel like I said, it doesn't have to be a third party. I just feel called to keep mentioning it. But I want to reiterate once again, other people, other energies very well may be involved. And I think that with this Seven of Candles, it could also speak about like a very hot moment in your love life. And not like hot as in like y'all are getting down. It could be that though, don't get me wrong. But I also feel like it's kind of like your love life will start reaching a boiling point. And I think that this is going to come up regardless of your status, your relationship, or like marital status. How do you say that word? Martial? I feel like that's like not the right word. Whatever your relationship status is, I feel like no matter what the case is, I feel like it's going to reach a boiling point, you know? Like if you're not looking for commitments, I feel like someone's going to push it on you. Or maybe someone has been pushing on you, like, why won't you marry them yet? Or like, you know, just a sense of a lot of pressure, pile 3. I feel like in your love life, there's a lot of pressure, lots of eyes watching, and a lot of opinions. And because of that, I feel like it's kind of like caused you to feel like you have to kind of stand up for yourself or kind of hold yourself up a specific way. But I do think that it still boils down to this drowning card. I really do feel like there is an energy here that is very upset, very sad to have lost you. I almost wonder if you broke up with someone and it was someone that you really cared about, but they just didn't know how to treat you right. And there's people saying like things like, oh, like you should have stayed with them. And it's like, girl, you don't understand what it was like, you know? Why, like, you know, I feel like when I say that other people are involved, they're involved in however way that it applies. So, like I said, like I just said, oh, like you could have broken up with someone and other people have something to say about that. You could be with someone and other people got something to say about that. But it's just the point is other people have something to say regardless of your status. But I really do feel called to mention it could be a third party, you broke up with someone, or you broke up with someone and there's something new in your life. Those are the main three things that I'm kind of thinking of here, so I'm going to kind of bounce around those three now. So let me pull another card. I'm going to pull two more. That's how many cards I've pulled for all the other piles. We have the Emperor, Aries energy. Ooh. Yeah, lots of Aries energy here. We have a lot of candles here, and then we have the Emperor. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and then we have some Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and also Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But lots of fire here. I do think that maybe there's like a fire rising or like a fire sun and then like a water Venus or water Mars. Water in one of the inner planets like Mercury, Venus, Mars, and then like a fire rising or fire moon. I'm hearing fire in the big three, water in the in the inner planets. That's what I'm feeling. But anyway, that was just a loose thought of me trying to be like predictor. But I feel like honestly, like I really can't like add more to this situation here because it really does. It seems so specific that you know what I'm talking about, pile 3. But I do think that with the Emperor card, it just kind of reiterates this theme of like standing up for yourself or wanting what you want without caring. But I almost do wonder, ooh, okay. For some of you, the father may be involved here because the Emperor is the father. The father may be like pressuring you to get married or like kind of like, you know, pressure you, or like they radiate fatherly energy. But fatherly energy is, I'm feeling that right here with this Emperor card. And I almost wonder if like, you know, fatherly issues are a topic right now, and I almost wonder if that's kind of what caused this energy that is so upset and drowning. So it really does seem as if though this situation is very complicated. I really do feel like if you were to describe this to anyone, it would be just as, or if not more complicated than how I've described it, because I feel like I've been bouncing around so many different things in this reading and kind of running around different topics because I feel like this situation could take on so many different forms because we have so many extreme specific energies here. But I do think that regardless, like I've been saying, like other energies are at play here, and I think that because of that, it's what's made your love life so treacherous. But I also think that moving forward, what's coming in your love life is something sweeter and more commitment based, obviously with this 2 of Cups and this commitment card, and also this King of Candles and Page of Needles. I almost wonder if you're going to get into a relationship or like you're going to meet someone and you're going to be kind of hesitant to tell people about it because you're going to be nervous about what they're going to say. Or maybe you've already met that person and you're like, oh, do I want to tell my friends? Or like, do I want to tell my dad? Or do I want to tell all these people, you know? And because of that, I feel like there is a lot of smoke and mirrors. Like I said, I love saying smoke and mirrors. It's just so much fun to say, but I do think that it is an applicable theme here. And I feel like I almost wonder if it has caused you a lot of anxiety, pile 3, and I do think that moving forward in your love life, there is going to be a lot of anxiety, and not to say like, oh, you're gonna be anxious, but I do feel as if though this is something that stresses you out. I don't feel as if though moving forward you're gonna be like anxious or anything, but I feel like the moving forward part itself is something that kind of stresses you out, and I do think that you should know that moving forward it's not gonna be as bad as it seems. I do think that with this King of Candles here, you're gonna be stepping into a much more powerful position, and the Emperor card. I feel like you're going to be kind of stepping into this like I don't care mindset, You could have an Aries rising. That's just my thought. I noticed that. Or like an Aries sun. Aries risings and suns are the most people that are like, don't tell me what to do. Like, I don't care. Like, I do what I want energy. So I do think that that is significant there. But I think that moving forward, what's to come in your love life is going to be something that only you will kind of appreciate. Only you will see the potential in, and only you will see how sweet and amazing it is. Like, maybe you meet someone and they're kind of like, they kind of come off as like a jerk or somebody that's like not a vibe, but like secretly they're actually such a sweetheart. So I almost wonder if because of that people are going to get the wrong impression of them. But I just think that misconceptions are going to be at play here. Let's pull one more card. Eight of Presents. The first thing that came to mind when I pulled this card is just work. I feel like this is someone you're starting something with. I feel like pile 3, I almost wonder if like moving forward, or you already have started this, I almost wonder if you want to do like a small business, or if you want to do something that they can, or maybe they're like starting something. I just feel like starting something together is at play here. Sorry, I just yawned. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, this Eight of Presents kind of changes things. Well, it doesn't change things, but it adds another very specific detail. First of all, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But I do feel like this, I don't think this deals with an earthly thing as in like work, but I feel like it's the effort itself. You know what I mean? I feel like effort is going to be put into this commitment, into this Two of Cups energy here. And I feel like a lot of effort is going to be put in, first of all. But I feel like it could be very subtle, and it could be earthly efforts, like moving in together, meeting up for the first time or something of the sort, going on a date, like weaving into each other's routine, something of the sort, something more earthly, but the effort itself is a huge theme here. And I feel like what's coming up is very, like, you might feel kind of like alone on it, I'm sensing, or like you might feel like very defensive of it. Like, I don't know how to describe it, pile 3. Just the sense that this commitment is something that you're investing a lot of energy into, or a lot of energy is going to be invested into it. And I feel like you know what I'm talking about. There is somebody that you are putting effort into, period. It does not matter. I almost wonder if this drowning card speaks about the person you're currently with. I almost wonder if the person you're with right now is someone who cries a lot, or if it's someone that like constantly gets hurt by you, or someone that's like always like, oh my gosh, like you make me feel some type of way. You're always influencing me. You're always like making me cry. You're the only one that makes me feel, a lot of stuff like that. It doesn't even have to be like an ex or anything of the sorts like I've been mentioning. I feel bad mentioning that so late in the reading. I almost wonder if some of y'all clicked off because it's like not resonating, but now it's like... But anyways, I do feel as if though you have a very strong effect on this person. I almost wonder if this person works really hard for you, like they're working really hard to make sure you don't have to pay for anything. They might be very chivalrous or very attached, someone who cares a lot about you. But I do think that they make you feel some type of way, and I feel like you're just like, I don't really care what people think, like this is my person, or this is someone who I want to be with. And so if y'all have something to say about it, like, don't say it to me because I won't care. You're going to be wasting your energy, but like also thanks for the attention. We love that. But yeah, I just feel like you make this person feel some type of way. And I feel like just this huge theme of... Okay, Patri, I'm going to wrap up your reading by saying these few final things. External energies are at play here, whether good or bad. You really care about someone and you're looking to commit and you've been putting in effort. They've been putting in effort. You make them feel some type of way and you are willing to see this out to the end. And in the future, you will kind of get more context on that. That's it. That's the reading. Yeah, Pile 3, that's what I have for you. That was definitely the diciest reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that resonated. If it did, comment and also like and subscribe. Thank you so much for the support. Literally making someone's dream come true. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Before I say that like a million more times, I'm just going to cut it off. Bye.